Hey everybody, welcome to Art of the City TV. I'm Ruth-Ann Thorn and I'm live streaming from my gallery here in Solana Beach. I know it's been a little bit of time has gone by since we've been able to do a live stream here on Facebook, but super excited to be back here. And even more excited because we've got a couple of really amazing guests coming on today. And these are two gentlemen that I've had an opportunity to work with in the past when I was able to host one of the probably the best shows that we've ever had here in this gallery. And that is a show for the one and only Chad Smith of the Red Hot Chili Peppers. So I know most of you who have been in the area, you were able to come out to the show. It was incredible. The gallery was just absolutely packed with people. And these two guys were very much responsible for bringing this incredible artist to us. And I think most of, we all kind of grew up with Red Hot Chili Peppers and we all know who Chad Smith is. But one of the things I think that we have not really been able to see is this new idea of great artists that are musicians being able to express their talent visually. So I'm going to introduce two really incredible, I call them innovators within the art world because they're truly bringing a whole new view of these musicians' lives onto the canvas. And so this was their brainchild and they've been super successful and we're benefiting. And their name of the company is called SceneFour. And I don't want to mess up their names, but it's Ravi, Dosaj, and Cory, Danziger. And I know them as Ravi and Cory, so I had to remember what their last name was today. But let me see if I can get them to come on the show here. And there they are. Welcome, gentlemen.
Hey, nice to see you.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Nice to see you. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So I was just sharing with the folks we're starting to get people coming in live streaming, and I'm sure there'll be a lot of questions to be asked. But, I wanted to just start out asking you, how did this all come to be? How did you come up with this concept of reaching out to these incredible drummers and allowing them to express themselves in a visual way?
Okay, well, Rob and I have been partners since 2004. And around 2008 or 2009, we made the choice that we wanted to create fine artwork. And we wanted to do it in collaboration with musicians. So we started working with guys like Chuck D and the RZA on these original pieces of art. And then we had this idea that we could create fine art or actually really create a movement, kind of a genre of art built on guitar and drum performance. So if we were able to capture drummers and their performance, their signature style, and capture it and put it to canvas, that would be something worth seeing. So in 2009, 2010, we started doing it, and it's kind of taken over our whole life.
Yeah, and I think the medium is really unique and different because in order for us to do that, we chose to use light. And so it's very tricky in the situation of putting them in this completely pitch black room with these sticks that light and they're pressure sensitive. So they're showing their jazz styles or their hard-hitting arena rock styles, and it's really captures the intensity of how they play and the feel of it. And it's just something unique that no one's really seen.
It's incredibly unique. And I think that, having been in the art world for almost 3 decades, I've never really thought about how impacting, well, we all know we listen to music, and I think that's something that pretty much everyone has had that experience with. But not everybody's had experience with visual art. They've seen it, they've been to museums, but they haven't maybe really delved into it. And so what you're doing is you are taking these great musicians that are rock icons and you're giving them a platform to express themselves in a visual way. And I'm wondering when let's just say you take a, any one of these great artists that you've brought into your studio to capture, what are their emotions when they see themselves for the first time, this music that's exuding from them in a visual format?
I think it varies from the artist. I mean, with like the drummer from Black Sabbath, I think when he saw it, it was like very emotional, and he kind of saw these deep-rooted things into his life, showing up. And then with other artists, they look at it, and then they, the creative spark sets off in their brain, and they're like, oh, what if I did this? What if we angled it this way? And the creativity just starts flowing. So it depends on the person. Like, who would you say had the biggest reaction to?
Bill Ward from Black Sabbath just was overwhelmed by what he saw, and it was really special to see him see a dimension of his artistry come to life in this canvas, and he got emotional. All these guys, they all have a certain closeness to their art, and for them to delve into this new dimension, they go head first. They're all very talented. They're all very creative to begin with, but they all go head first, all of them.
And it was really weird. Like, the music he played translated into the visual. So it was this dark, macabre, almost eerie, scary, kind of gothic thing came through. Right. And we were all just like, whoa, that's...
It looks like Black Sabbath.
Yeah, basically.
Carl Palmer looks like Carl Palmer. It's graceful and elegant, in English. So we're all each drummer has their own signature style, and it really does translate with this medium.
I think that's a thing that when, and I would love to hear you talk about, because now you do a lot of traveling with these artists as well. And I know that when Chad was here, you were both here with him. When you travel, how do you feel that the public that has been, they've been great fans for many, many years, how do they respond when they come in? Because, most of them are coming in to see their favorite rock star. Maybe they like art, maybe they don't. But what is your experience when people see the visual of this emotional charge that's coming out of the music from these artists?
I really feel like it connects with people's consciousness, like where they had the feeling from listening to the Red Hot Chili Peppers and this vibe inside of their head, and then they see a visual and it all comes together, and it's, I think it's joy, excitement. It depends on the viewer, it's very open and interpretive to what the viewer is seeing. So
I mean, I can tell you that some people call it arena art, and that's because when we go into a gallery, not 100 people show up, but 1,000 people might show up.
Right.
We did a show in Austin, Texas. We had 3,000 RSVPs.
Wow.
It was incredible. So arena art is kind of this term that's being thrown around now, with these musicians showing this rhythmic expressionist art, because these drummers come in and literally we can get 1,000 RSVPs. We had hundreds and hundreds of people, I think, at your gallery, right?
We did. That's why I'm smiling. I'm thinking back.
Yeah.
We sure did. Well, you may be coining a whole new phrase. In art, there's always these movements that come along. You have the Impressionist movement, abstract movement, all these different movements, and this may be a brand new one.
Oh, well, that's cool.
Well, when you think about art, when I'm thinking about it as an art dealer, there has never been a platform for artists up until now where we have this technology to capture, these artists, like you're saying, in this room with these light sticks, and then being able to capture that. You couldn't do that 100 years ago.
Right.
I mean,
artist,
there was things in history like Jackson Pollock, doing the rhythmic patterns of throwing the paint, and there was, definite a vibe of that, but it wasn't translated like the way we're doing it with technology. So yes, it's like a new gateway to this other dimension.
And when you think about, you're bringing in drummers. I thought about that last night. I thought that's such a unique concept because, they're using their hands. And so now you're capturing not only movement and rhythm, but a lot of the same elements that are used when you're painting. There is a rhythm when an artist is creating a painting. When I talk to artists, I work with one of the artists, I work with Michael Floor. He's always talking about the rhythm to the brushstroke that he's using and how he is using the layering to create a rhythm so that when you're looking at the art, there's almost a musical quality to the composition. So I think what you're capturing is really, I don't know if, in other words, I don't know if you could do that with a guitarist.
Well, actually,
yeah.
but
Yes.
wait, there's more.
You guys might be able to do it.
It's a very smaller world, because you're talking about a fretboard on a guitar, but it's that's sort of we're in the experiment phase, and we've done some stuff, and it translates definitely, but
I can't wait to see that.
yeah, I think when a guitar player sees it and they know what's going on, because if you're a guitar player, you just spend all this time on motor skills and dexterity. And when they see their favorite guitar player dance with their fingers on the fretboard, it's the same as the arcs of the drummer.
Right. We actually built a glove with a great guitar player in LA from a band called Mao. He built a glove for us that tracks the finger movements on the fretboard. And we've built several collections already with it, guitar players. Joe Satriani, Yngwie Malmsteen, Paige Hamilton, Scott Ian. These are early guys that are doing this with us. So we're moving into the realm of guitar as well.
Yeah, and the interesting thing about that is that we're actually running electricity. Chris figured out how not to fry anybody. We're running electricity through the string.
Yeah.
And then conducting as the tips touch of their fingers on the fretboard. And then it shows all the fretboard movement of the finger dance that they're doing. Yeah.
That should be an incredible visual.
It is. It's incredible.
I'd love to see that. I'm going to see if we can use technology today and see if I can't get this this YouTube video to play. We'll do a little section, and then you guys can give us a little bit of commentary on what the viewer is experiencing, kind of from the back end, behind the curtain, if you will. Let's see if we can get this to come up.
Ruth-Ann?
Yes, go ahead.
Should we talk over the video or not?
If you can, we're going to see if this video wants to behave. You should be able to talk over the video. Let me see. I'm going to hide myself first.
Music, art, together, photography, painting, whatever, just there's no rules.
Chad's placed into a dark room, completely pitch black, with transparent sticks that light. What he does is plays a rhythm pattern, hitting the drums as he would play music. The sticks are said to be pressure sensitive. So as he hits the drum, the light goes off.
Okay, we're
the stronger
trying here.
he hits it,
Give
the
us a
brighter the
minute.
light is. As he pulls away, the lights don't just cut out, they're said to fade out. So that's why you get the brushstroke, artistic brushstrokes of the rhythm patterns created by his drum.
Okay, I'm coming back. I don't know. It's showing on the screen, but for whatever reason, you guys can't do the commentary on it. Can you still hear me though?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Were you able to see it at all?
No, we haven't. No. We've seen the video.
No, okay. Well, that's a big fail. I guess one of my colleagues here is saying it's coming up on the screen, but I don't think that you can see it. If you want, maybe let's do this. I'll reduce both of us and we'll let the viewers see the video, and then we'll come back and then we can talk about it. Because you guys produce this video, I believe, so you kind of know the content on there.
Yeah.
So let's do it that way. We'll just...
Music.
Okay, we're back. That did not work. So that's okay. Hey, you know what? We're here, and that's all that matters, right?
That's right. We had such a good time.
So let's go
Ruth-Ann.
back to, they can watch it. We'll put the link. What did you say?
I said, Ravi and I were just talking about what a great time we had at your gallery. We enjoyed showing at your gallery.
Oh, that was such a thrill. And I'll tell you what, we still have people talking about it. And what's really interesting is the fact that that happened literally probably 5 days before this whole Corona thing broke loose, which is a good dovetail, because I wanted to talk about how that's affected your show schedule.
It's destroyed it pretty much. Yeah. I mean, we switched gears from being on the road to being connected to people through the internet again, more so. But once they figure it out with the social distancing, we hope to return to touring around the U.S. with the artwork.
So did you have a whole year of shows scheduled with these different rock stars that you just came to an end?
Yeah, we had a whole lengthy schedule. We did switch modes. We've been doing a lot of charity related ventures with our art. We just completed a piece with Carl Palmer from Emerson, Lake and Palmer.
Well, he was in the UK.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's just all social distancing. So
yeah, this is like
Wow.
a pretty heart on canvas, and it benefits first responders and their families. So we did that. We did release a new collection with the drummer from Quiet Riot, Frankie Benali.
Okay.
And that's gone really well. It's an incredible collection. We're really proud of it.
and then Stuart Copeland from the Police was a big one that we released.
Well, you both have been busy even in the middle of all this.
Yeah,
thing.
we had Stuart wearing the mask, and we all wore masks, and whatever it takes, we'll do it. So.
Yeah.
I love that. That's great. Well, the show must go on, right? And I can understand that. So did you say that you also had a book that you were working on with one of these artists?
We've released 7 books in 10 years. Ravi
Okay.
brought the show.
So basically, we wanted to show this, and this is Bill Ward. We're going back to Bill Ward. Bill saw the pieces, and so we were saying that he was really emotionally moved by the artwork. And so another step in a different form of art, he decided to write poetry for each piece, how it connected to it.
Wow.
So this book is artwork and poetry, and then it comes with vinyl, so you can hear him actually, do the poetry. So actually, I should hold it that way.
That's incredible. Wow.
Yeah.
So-
there's another step too that musicians are taking with their art, where they're adding paint to the actual drum art, the rhythmic art. Chad Smith is doing that. Obviously, Rick Allen has done that. Mickey Hart has done that. Who else has done that?
Oh, with the paint?
Yeah.
I was just going to go back to say Dave Lombardo from Slayer actually wrote music. By looking at, the art pieces, he went and scored a whole album that we released of drum tracks where he put it back to the audio world from the visual.
Yeah.
So he did the reverse.
And so did Steve Smith from Journey.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So you're really opening up a whole new creative idea for these musicians, because they're now not only, this collaboration that you have where you capture them and then, they get to see their own rhythms in a visual format. Then they're going back in and they're adding to that, right? So they're picking up the brush and they're learning, their own feelings within their own work. I mean, that's pretty amazing. And then it sounds like they're even, riffing on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you were there with the live paint session with Chad. I mean, he basically just moves rhythmically around a canvas and who knows what's going on there. It's he's just feeling.
Completely.
Yeah.
No, he was just, I mean, I spoke to him in the back and he said that he had really, because of this whole new avenue, that it had really opened up a whole new world for him as far as looking at art and creating art, which, I think that may be something that these guys want to do later on in their life, as another forms of creativity as things go on. So one of the things I wanted to ask you, I had a few questions, but one of the questions was, how do you guys feel? I don't know if you realize what an impact you're making by documenting these artists in a visual format. How do you feel about the fact that people are going to reflect one day on what you're doing?
I don't know if we've gotten our head around it, and it's something new and exciting as far as this new dimension. And so we're just letting it take its course, and it could veer and change drastically or continue on. We hope that it's definitely set in the record books as far as the medium of rhythmic expressionism to be in there, because it's just the use of technology. I don't know if the art world's really been where we're going, so hopefully.
But it always takes innovators, and you guys are those innovators. I mean, you're the the two of you as a team that has come up with this idea of collaborating, and then you are documenting some of the most important living musicians of our time through all of this. Maybe you haven't wrapped your head around it, but I was thinking about it. It's pretty profound.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. If we had a time machine and we were doing a guitar session with Jimi Hendrix, what would that be like, for forever and ever for somebody to see that visual?
And we'll never know, because maybe we didn't have the technology, but I think even more importantly, nobody ever thought of it. I mean, you thought of it, but I don't know of anybody else who's doing anything even remotely close to this. So kudos to you.
Thank you.
I think it's a pretty big deal. So any artists that you are, maybe that we could be looking at that are coming down, that you're courting, that you would like to see, that you can share with us?
Are we allowed to say
we
that?
can say a couple.
Okay.
Okay.
You go ahead. I don't know.
We're working on a collection with Wayne Kramer from
Okay.
MC5, and also Tom Morello from Rage Against the Machine.
Okay.
And we've got a couple other things, but we can't discuss them. But those, at least, we're already making the art, so those we can mention.
Okay. Well, that's exciting.
Really big ones sitting up there, but we can't mention them yet. So
Okay. That's a bit of a tease, but we'll just have to come back and do this again when you can mention them, right? Yeah, I think I think what you're doing is really going to continue to have more and more followers, because a lot of people, like when we had that Chad Smith show, a lot of people, it was the first time that they had ever even heard of being able to see Chad Smith's art. And what I found to be probably powerful for me was seeing some of our longtime collectors come into the gallery, and they're big, Red Hot Chili Pepper fans. They love Chad Smith, they're like, they want to bow down, when they came in. But I wasn't really sure how people would respond to the art. Would they respond the same way they did to the music? We had people crying here in the gallery. They were so touched by the artwork and the emotion. And it was so interesting how the music and the art came together, and there was an understanding immediately from collectors. I feel the music through this art. I had no idea that it would have that impact. And so to me, as an art dealer, what I do and what I've been doing is I've been creating a platform for people to come in and experience art. And when you're pulling in both art and music and people are crying, doesn't get much better than that.
Great.
Another great thing is that, we're pulling in the music lover who normally doesn't go out to the art shows to see this.
Yes.
And then they become touched and they're attracted to the visual, where usually they're an audio person. So I think, both ways it can happen. So
Yeah, I can't tell you, Ruth-Ann, it's incredible. Like,
yeah.
The percentage of people that collect our art that have never bought investment grade art before is huge. It's like the biggest compliment in the world to think that we're introducing them to the pleasure of owning investment grade art,
Absolutely. So in your own personal lives, besides this is obviously very creative, what you're doing here, collaborating with these, very famous rock stars. I know, Cory, because I remember seeing you in some, not video, but on film. I know that you are a child actor. I don't know if you're still pursuing that.
No.
But do either of you have any creativity that you do just on your own spare time?
Yeah, Ravi's a dad. That's pretty creative.
That's creative.
no, I mean, I think Cory's, we just sit there and I think the both of us sit there and wait for these things to come into our brains as far as visual, and he's very conceptual. So, if it's like he came up with this concept for the RZA from the Wu-Tang Clan, where he's George Washington crossing the Potomac and like rewriting history, which is, that's like a big deal now. And, for me, it's experimenting with different printing techniques. And with Chad's thing, I mean, you get into the 3D world of taking it, from the flat canvas and extruding it outwards, and, color theory of seeing with Chad of what's going to create this emotion when people look at it. And so we're always, trying to receive the next great thing as far as conceptual and visual.
So that is your creative outlet then?
Yeah.
Pretty much. We don't have those outside of that.
We do this all the time.
I have a feeling there is something there, but I won't dig any further on that. But I definitely see that, without both of your talents coming together, none of this would be possible. So if people want to find the artwork and they want to order, do you have a website that they can order from?
You just go to SceneFour.com and that should show all of our work.
Okay. And what about learning about upcoming shows, that type of thing, once this thing does blow over?
Oh, go to our Facebook page for sure. That's a great way to stay connected with us.
Also, Roadshow Company. We're repped by Roadshow Company with Chad Smith, certainly. And they have an incredible Facebook presence. And it'll show upcoming dates. And actually, Chad's art right now is in a great gallery, actually in Jacksonville.
That's right. 725.
Yeah, Gallery 725.
Okay.
So yeah, and do you have some
Okay.
Chad's gallery as well?
We do. We do have, we were so fortunate that we were left, I think you guys left us maybe a roadshow, 8 pieces. We did, I think we just recently sold 1, but we've been shut down. So we haven't been able to really have that many people in. And when they do come in, it's, you know, we have to kind of stagger everybody with appointments and that type of thing. So, but yes, we do. So if you're in the neighborhood, stop by our gallery. I'm hoping that we're able to also host more of these great artists in our gallery once we can open up full time and, you know, actually have a party. Because that's the thing I think that's really tough right now is that our gallery can be open, but we can't have, how many people did we have? Like 2,000 people in, you know, 2 days, 3 days. So I don't think that the state would be too happy with 2,000 people in the gallery right now.
When ready, you know who's ready to do a show at your gallery is Sheila E.
We're
Sheila
ready.
E.
And I love her.
Okay, good. We're gonna do
And
it.
then we'll try to throw in the live performance and leave the congas with some drums.
You hear that, folks? You better follow these pages so that you know when this is coming. You don't want to miss that. Well, you guys are just awesome. You're the best. And I'll tell you, the world is a better place because of both of you. Maybe you don't recognize what you've actually brought to the world, but it's really, I guess in a word, it's the next step in the musical. It's what we have always grown to appreciate with these great musicians, and with their discipline, they spend their entire lives to get to that level where they're rock stars. And we go and we buy their, what do we buy now? We download their music, and you know, we have appreciated it all these years, and then we get to see it in a visual format. And that is because you've given this opportunity. You've created this platform, and you are the ones that are responsible for that. It's a big deal.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much. Well, it's an honor to be here. We're really excited to be part of the show, so thank you.
All right, well, we will have you on again coming up soon, I'm sure, because I'm crossing my fingers that this thing is over by the end of September. That's what I'm hoping for. So hopefully we'll be able to get back to life as we would love it, and we'll be able to have more of these social art shows and that type of thing. And as soon as we do, I want to have you guys back on so we can talk about who's coming to the gallery. But until then, folks, make sure that you follow these gentlemen. You don't want to miss what they have going on. And I'm sure that you're going to be more innovative as you have time to meet with people too.
Yeah, we hope so.
I mean, every new artist we meet, you know, it's just a springboard for creativity of where we can go with it. Because each one's very unique. And like you said, they practice their whole lives of this dexterity and motor skill thing. And it's a blessing that we get to document that somewhere.
Oh, that's great. And do you get to go backstage sometimes?
We do. We do. Usually with a camera. I'm not going to lie. Sometimes we hang out, you know, in the green
All right.
room.
Well, you know, my friend who works here with me, Cynthia, will definitely want to be, you know, groupies. I know we're getting a little bit past the groupie age, but hey, we still want to do it.
Okay.
So, all right, gentlemen. Well, thank you so much for being on Art of the City today. I'll look forward to seeing you again soon. And next time we will have this technology completely dialed in and we can show the video. But what I'm going to try to do is when I have you go off the show here, I'm going to see if I can throw that video up so those who are watching can at least see. I know it's a kind of a short one, but be blessed, my friends, and continue giving back to the world through what you bring to the art community. It's very much appreciated.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, folks, that is two amazing people that I think are going to really make history within the art world. Sometimes I think people are so humble, and both of these gentlemen are just really salt of the earth, and I think have really, in my opinion, opened up a whole new realm for the art world. And I think it's going to be something that we're all going to be talking about, and we'll be looking back and saying, wow, these were the guys that brought these great musicians into a visual platform. So I'm going to see if I can end the show with this video. Let me try it one more time, because I'm always fighting with technology. It doesn't like me. But let's see if I can make this work. And we don't have sound, but we do have
Music,
the visuals.
art,
So you can kind of see
together,
here, Chad at
photography,
work. This is a
painting,
promotional
whatever,
video,
just
but it's
there's
kind
no
of nice to be able to see, if you haven't actually seen what they're talking
Chad's placed
about,
into
you're getting
a
an
dark room,
opportunity to
completely
actually
pitch black,
see the work live
with
here.
transparent
So
sticks that
when we
light.
had the show
What he
for
does
Chad,
is plays
the
a rhythm
whole entire
pattern,
gallery
hitting
was
the drums
filled
as
with
he
his
would
artwork.
play music.
And then
The
we were
sticks are
actually
said to be
able to
pressure
see
sensitive.
him
So
paint
as he
live
hits the
in
drum,
back.
the light goes
It was
off.
a huge
The stronger
thrill.
he
And I'll
hits
tell
it,
you
the brighter
what,
the
people
light is.
came from
As he
all
pulls away,
up
the
from
lights
LA.
don't just cut out.
We had
They're
people
set
coming
to
in from
fade
Arizona.
out.
We
So
had
that's why you
people,
get the
flying
brushstroke,
in
artistic
from out of state
brushstrokes
that had heard about
of the
it
rhythm patterns
to watch
created
this
by his
great
drum.
master here. So you can see those are the light sticks, and
The medium
this
itself,
is what the
we call
result
rhythmic
of that is.
expressionism.
And so they're
Through
capturing
open shutter photography,
the rhythm
he's
and
able
the music,
to build the
music.
visuals that
So
you're going to
there's
see
a
on the
little
canvas
sneak
of the
peek.
piece of art.
And
He reviews the
we do have
captures,
some.
adjusts
All
what
right,
he's
we
playing
have sound.
to build the pieces that you're seeing.
There's a lot of time spent manipulating these digital files into different layering to create different Pantones and color variations that are very Chad Smith.
And he's got a unique rhythm style to that as well. So it's rhythm captured with rhythmic painting. It's like nothing the world has ever seen before.
Today I'm embellishing on my artwork. This has been really fun. And that's the most important thing, to have fun with it. The art speaks for itself, and it's just another really creative outlet for me.
So there it is, folks. The Art of Chad Smith and many, many others. So make sure you follow. We are going to start our live streaming again Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I believe we have decided that it will be at 4 p.m., same time, Pacific Standard Time. That kind of breaks it up for those of you who are watching in from the East Coast. Starting in August, we're going to devote that month to Native American artists, musicians, and culinary artists. And maybe we'll sprinkle in a few more. We're doing that in light of Indian country because of the fact that one of the major ways that artists in Indian country make their living for the entire year is at Indian Market in Santa Fe. Unfortunately, it has been canceled this year. So I felt like as a Native American, I should go ahead and support all those other Native Americans in the arts by creating this platform. So you're going to see some incredible artists come out of Indian country. So make sure you stay tuned. That's going to start at the beginning of August, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So this is Ruth-Ann. I'm going to go ahead and close out. Thank you for joining us today, Art of the City TV. And I will see you, let's see, today's Wednesday, next Monday. And I'll look forward to it. Have a great week, folks.